Bakersfield. Chris?
Topping our lineup here on the Now, there's a new proposal to directly regulate social media companies, but it is raising a question if we just should be quitting social media with all the concerns about it. And fresh and raw pet foods, that's really the newest trend. So we want to know if it's really actually worth making the switch for your dog, and do the possible benefits outweigh the added cost. And with baby boomers living longer, a growing number of businesses are starting to offer long-term care insurance to their workers. What this coverage could mean for you or someone in your family.
Good evening. A new medical center has opened up in Delano, and while it's bringing health care to the community, it's also bringing dozens of jobs. The Now's Scott Sheehan has an inside look at what positions they have available and how you can apply.
Hi, my name is Anna. I'm going to be your medical assistant today, okay?
Omni Family Health is now open and welcoming new patients at their facility in Delano.
We're going to start by taking your vital signs. Go ahead and relax. This is going to go under your tongue.
When the health facility is fully staffed, patients will be able to visit general practitioners, OBGYNs, pediatrics, and behavioral health specialists, as well as pharmacists and dentists.
Here in Delano, we already had 2 other sites that are here, so we needed to expand because of the need. So our expansion is strategic. So we've opened this new facility, a state-of-the-art facility.
At the beginning of the month, Cooper says Omni Family Health only had a few of their providers and services filled. That means they're looking to fill over 80 job openings across various positions.
We have needs everywhere from groundskeepers, medical assistants. We need...
I see a zoo bus. Does that mean this is the pediatric side?
Correct. This whole area is the pediatric section.
Cooper says Omni is currently accepting resumes online at omnifamilyhealth.org or in person at their facility on Fremont Street. While most of their qualifications vary as widely as the positions, there's one characteristic Omni Family Health is looking for in all their applicants.
The biggest thing, having that compassionate and caring attitude. And then, of course, depending on the position, some positions will require specialized training. For example, medical assistants would need to have the medical assistant training. Front office would have specialized training as well.
For those potential employees who don't quite have all those qualifications, what is Omni Family Health doing to try to get those final training in order to be able to work here?
Yeah. Our organization partners with local colleges and vocational schools to open our sites to be training sites so that we can assist the schools in having those potential candidates trained and ready to apply with us.
Two recent Omni Family Health hires are Anna Perez and Telis Bielos. They're both medical assistants at the new medical facility.
Well, we get to know the patient. We talk to them. Some people get nervous. We just try to calm them down, make them feel comfortable.
I came because we're expanding and it's a new building, and we're open to more opportunities where we have new equipment.
Experiencing any pain?
No.
No, you're doing okay? Okay, so the doctor will be right in with you, okay?
Okay.
Perez says Omni Family Health's variety at their medical center allows her to gain more experience with a wider range of patients.
Here that we interact with different ages. At my other job, it was just one age. So here I get to interact with children of all ages and also adults.
Both Perez and Bielos say they found their job postings online and applied online. For Bielos, he and his family moved to Kern County from Orange County for more opportunities.
I think it was the correct move because of the opportunities that are coming up, and it's opportunity and everything, career-wise, housing.
Cooper says the salaries range as much as the positions. Entry-level jobs start at $14 an hour, while more skilled positions come with a 6-figure salary. She says if you think you're qualified for one of the more than 80 openings, to check their website and apply online.
Send it by email or by fax. So that's the best way. It's going on our website and taking a look at the opportunities on our website.
Thank you so much for coming in. The doctor will come in shortly.
All right.
If hiring goes well, Cooper says Omni Family Health hopes to be fully staffed across all their different providers by the summer. For the Now and Kern Back in Business, Scott Sheehan, 23 ABC, connecting you.
Well, a new type of ride service is here in Kern County. Today, Golden Empire Transit launched an on-demand shuttle that'll take you where you need to go. A grand opening event was held this morning at a bus stop in southwest Bakersfield off of Panama Lane. The new Get shuttles are part of a 6-month pilot project offering curb-to-curb service. The shuttle service is similar to an Uber or a Lyft. You can get picked up at your house, the store, or wherever you are, and it'll drop you off wherever you need to be. The shuttle can hold about 8 passengers. It's wheelchair accessible and also have bike racks. The shuttles are fuel efficient and aim to attract new riders and expand Get's service areas. Have you ever been bitten by someone's 4-legged friend? If you have, you're not alone. A new study has found California is #1 in the nation for bites regardless of dog breed. The study, which was conducted by State Farm, found that more than 400 claims for dog bites were filed in California in 2018, costing a whopping $18 million. California took the top spot for bites by a long shot. The state of Illinois took second place with 288 bites and $10 million in claims. That means California's pooches are taking the lead by more than 100 bites. The other states to make the top 5 list: Ohio, Texas, and Pennsylvania.
Today, the UK announced some new measures that are aimed at making social media safer. The goal is to protect people from harmful content online. So with this first of its kind action, should we be reevaluating how we use it? Chris Welch was looking into it.
United Kingdom government officials say new rules would make the UK the safest place in the world to be online. According to a government release, Britain would appoint an independent regulator to enforce new standards.
I think if they're trying to regulate really salacious things like murders and killings and that kind of thing on social media, probably a good idea.
This comes on the heels of the New Zealand shooting that left 50 people dead and was streamed on Facebook Live. This weekend, former President Obama encouraged a group in Germany to find ways to improve the conversation on the internet and social media.
Social media that was once considered to be the network that would provide us greater understanding, now suddenly appears to be a tool that is used to spread disinformation and hatred and suspicion.
The UK says the goal is to protect users from content that incites violence or is violent in nature, content that encourages suicide, disinformation, and cyberbullying. Not only could companies face fines, but they run the risk of having their platforms blocked or seeing their executives individually held liable. But if federal governments are going so far as regulating these platforms, is it time to reevaluate how we use things like Facebook ourselves, or whether we should continue to use them at all?
When it starts to interfere with your life, then that's the time you really want to begin to look at reducing your time on social media.
Sean Worthy, a clinical psychologist at Metropolitan State University, says like many things, social media has its pros and cons. But how can you tell if the cons are outweighing the pros?
Is it the primary focus of your time throughout your day? And does it distract you from doing other things that maybe you should be doing?
Worthy says if you do feel it's time to cut back, he suggests not going cold turkey, but rather slowly reducing the time you spend consuming social content. I'm Chris Welch reporting.
All right, Chris, thank you. And we got more in our lineup here. Fresh and raw pet foods, really kind of a new trend for pet owners. So we want to know if it's actually worth making the switch for your animal. Do the possible benefits outweigh the added cost that comes with it? We're going to get some answers coming up. Well, let's start the Now news feed with Stanford booting a student who used a fake sailing credential on her application to get into the school. All of this part of the college admissions scandal. And the Stanford student newspaper says that the sailing program, they happened to receive a $500,000 donation once she got in. The Stanford sailing coach was fired last month as part of that scandal. Well, take a look at this video here. A bus crashing into restaurants in New York City. This happened early yesterday morning. Police say a speeding car ran a red light, then just nailed this bus, sending it right into the building. Now, the driver has minor injuries, but no one else was on board the bus, and there were no customers in the restaurant. Well, the NCAA tournament, that comes to a finish this evening. It is Texas Tech versus Virginia for all the marbles. And if you're a Texas Tech student, pretty good deal, win or lose. The president of the school sending out this email to students letting them know that classes tomorrow are canceled already. Well, the cost of owning a car, that is not slowing down. That's according to Kelley Blue Book. On average, new car prices went up more than $800 over the last year. The average new car price is closer to $40,000. Even used cars average more than $20,000 with payments around $400 a month now. Now, it is important to take a hard look at just how much you should spend. The creator of FinancialSamurai.com has a pretty tough rule for at least a lot of people. They say that you shouldn't spend more than 1/10 of your income. So say you make about $50,000 a year, we're talking around $5,000 on a car. That is unless you've saved up a little cash on the side. Now, why so little? Well, they say cars, they're not investments, and they say you should really focus on paying down debt if you have it and putting money into a retirement account instead. They also say, while driving a shiny new car that sounds nice, you think of the spills, the scratches, the dings that can come with it. That's even more money and just adds to the stress in your life. Now, if your car is already expensive, experts say just try to keep it as long as possible.
Well, the clock is ticking down for you to file your taxes, whether you owe Uncle Sam or you'll be getting a refund. The deadline is just 1 week from today. The tax deadline is Monday, April 15th. And if you haven't filed yet, we do have some tips for you. If you're doing your taxes yourself, the IRS recommends you file electronically. That way, the software walks you through questions and can flag possible errors. Tax software can be expensive, but don't worry. The IRS offers a free do-it-yourself program on its website. For those of you confused by new tax laws or with complicated returns, you do still have time to see a professional or possibly file for a 6-month extension. All right, well, let's take a look live outside of downtown Bakersfield, ending off what was a gorgeous day. The Now's Josh Sanders in tonight for Allison. Josh, these warm temperatures not sticking around for too long, though, right?
Not sticking around, but we did top out at 83 today, so about 10 degrees above where we should be this time of year. That record high, though, of 96 back in 1989. Some headlines for us going forward. Temperatures will be falling into the 70s as we're tracking this system that's going to be coming through overnight. Could give us a chance to see some rain tomorrow and gusty winds throughout the valley. But this is that system right now over northern California, going to be moving its way south and then into the Midwest, cooling us down. Also going to be seeing some increase in when it comes to winds. Winds right now in Mojave around 30 miles per hour, those gusts. But you can see in Bakersfield already building at 9 miles per hour. And we're going to have a high wind warning tomorrow starting at 12 noon. That's going to extend until Wednesday early morning around 2 a.m. So as those winds build, you can see 31 mile per hour gusts potentially tomorrow morning around 10 a.m. Those winds going to stay with us throughout the day. You can see in Mojave in those 40s, Grapevine 22, Frazier Park, those higher elevations going to be in those 30s. But that's good for our air quality, back in that good range. AQI of 41, so 2 days in that moderate range. Tomorrow back in that good range going forward. As we look at our future cast, that system's going to be moving through, and then we're going to clear out Tuesday afternoon into Wednesday, but we are tracking another system that could bring us some more rain into Thursday and Friday. In our zone forecast, topping out in those low 70s again tomorrow. Lows going to be in those 40s, high of 69 for the Grapevine, low of 46. Kern River Valley going to see those low 60s, high 50s, 58 for Kernville, low of 37, 54 in Tehachapi, low of 35. Desert Community is going to see those ranges of 60s and 70s. Ridgecrest, high of 72, low of 44. Again, could see some wind gusts in those 45 mile per hour ranges. Over the next 9 days, going to stay below seasonal norms into those 70s. Then we're going to warm back up into those 80s come Saturday. Chris?
Let's start the Now news feed. The Boston Marathon a week from today, but news that next year's race will recognize new para-athlete divisions. Runners who are visually impaired or amputees will be able to win awards and prize money. Well, Graceland, that's a bucket list trip for any Elvis fan, and the Memphis City Council voting this month to pay for a massive expansion to Elvis's home. Now, the Elvis estate's actually been battling that city for nearly 2 years to fund a $100 million expansion. Pinterest, one of several tech companies planning to go public this year, and today the company said it's putting 75 million shares up for sale, which would put the company at a value of around $9 billion. Well, eating healthy, that's obviously really important, and that's not just for you, that also goes for your pets. But are the added costs of fresh and raw pet foods actually worth it? Annie Taylor's getting answers on the latest trends in dog food.
Duck feet.
So we call it a fish sickle. It's a great treat.
Move over kibble. There's a new trend in dog food.
There's the bone in there, there's the protein in there, there's the organ in there, and there's the fat.
We're talking about raw meat and fish. Dee Moffett with the company Raw Dog Food says it's what dogs are meant to be eating.
When you feed a dog a species-appropriate diet, they calm down, they are happy, they don't have inflammation in their joints.
Dog owner Lakin Stratton agrees. For years, she fed her Chihuahua kibble.
She used to sleep all day long. Never played with my other dogs.
But now, after switching to raw,
she plays tug of war with my 60-pound American Staffordshire Terrier.
If you're not into raw, there's a new trend, fresh pet food, and that's located in the refrigerator section. But when it comes to the price of kibble versus fresh versus raw dog food, here's what we found. A 30-pound bag of high-end dry dog food by Blue Buffalo costs $50. 24 pounds of Vital fresh dog food, $73. And 20 pounds of raw chicken dog food is $60. But vets say save your money. Dr. Kevin Fitzgerald recommends kibble to most of his pet owners.
Well, for sure, kibble's okay to eat. You know, good stimulation on the teeth and gums. You know, I think, you know, for many dogs, a dry diet is preferable. My problem with many of the raw diets is in eating only wet food, they get so much tartar and plaquing so much quicker. So we end up with, you know, having to do more dental care, and I think people should be aware of that.
He also has concerns of salmonella, but Dee says you can avoid salmonella poisoning.
All you have to do is use the same food safety standards that you or I would use if we're cooking burgers, steaks, or chicken.
When it comes to feeding your dog, here are Dr. Fitzgerald's final words of wisdom.
We need to be aware of what we're giving them and how much.
I'm Annie Taylor reporting.
Annie, thank you. And check this out right here. A small 6x6 card is getting attention for keeping food fresh for a lot longer. Yeah, this is the Food Freshness card. It's not cheap. It's about $75. Company that makes it says that it can actually make your bread or produce last 50% longer. And even just take a look at this. This is time-lapse video from the company showing what it says it can do for bread. This is something that can be used in the refrigerator or outside the refrigerator. The Food Freshness card, it actually won an Edison Award last week. That's given to innovative products. You can order this online from Nature's Frequencies, which is the company that makes it. A 20-year-old woman who raised all 5 of her siblings was just blessed by a bunch of strangers.
This is our car. This is our car. What? Thank you guys to the sheriff department.
We love you guys.
Now, take a look at that. The Florida family lost both parents to cancer recently. And the Orange County Sheriff's Office helped them with Christmas and posted the story to social media. And so many people saw it that they anonymously raised money to buy them a car. Now, Samantha Rodriguez, who's raising her siblings age 6 all the way to 15, says it is hard, but she is glad there are people in her life that are helping her. All right, finally on our lineup, baby boomers are living longer, and now a growing number of businesses, they're starting to offer long-term care insurance for their workers. Coming up next on The Now, what this coverage could mean for you or someone in your family. Well, this could be a glimpse into the future. The United Nations considering solving one climate change problem with floating cities. Could this be a solution to rising sea levels? Now, this is the design that was put together by the company Oceanix. Those platforms you've seen, they could house up to 10,000 people. They would have schools, stores, restaurants, just like normal cities. There wouldn't be any cars, and food would be grown under the platforms. Yeah, islands would generate their own power and heat. One unexpected, serious health issue can set you back years financially. More companies are offering a form of insurance to cover some of the costs for you or older family members, and Annie Taylor's here with that.
With a larger portion of Americans entering their golden years, everyone is paying more attention now on how best to prepare. One option is long-term care insurance policies. Now, the number of businesses offering the coverage to employees went up 10% last year. That's according to the Society for Human Resource Management. Long-term care policies cover care for people who need help with daily living. It could be a chronic medical condition, disability, or a disorder like Alzheimer's. It covers at-home care, assisted living facilities, nursing homes, and adult daycare. And since it's mainly older adults who need this type of care, many businesses are going a step further. They're allowing employees' extended family members like parents and grandparents to buy coverage. The policies tend to be more expensive than typical medical insurance, but data from accounting firm PwC shows the average person will need about $172,000 worth of long-term care, so the insurance may actually be worth it.
All right, Annie, thank you. And spring is typically the time of year you may be thinking about making some improvements around your home. We have a warning if you're thinking about doing those projects yourself. Tomorrow we're going to have the cost of those DIY mistakes and the jobs that are probably best left to the professionals.
And coming up after the break, we're going to check our forecast one more time. A nice warm day today, but cooling off very soon. Details coming up next.
Well, welcome back. It was a warm day today, but we're dropping back into those 70s starting tomorrow. Going to stay in those low 70s throughout the week. Could see some rain tomorrow, but probably just in our higher elevations, and then back into those 80s next weekend.
Looking forward to the warmer temperatures next weekend. That's going to do it for us on The Now. We'll see you back here tonight at 11.